Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really radical strategy for building online communities. It's an idea that pretty much flips decades of tech wisdom right on its head. It argues that to actually bring people together, you first have to help them create something meaningful, all by themselves.
So let's just start with a huge question. For decades, the tech industry has been completely obsessed with one thing: distribution. Building these giant platforms to help us share our ideas. But what if they've been solving the wrong problem this whole time? What if the real struggle isn't about getting our voice out there, but about finding it in the first place?
And this quote right here, it just gets to the absolute heart of it. See, most social platforms, they assume that creation is the easy part. They give us that blinking cursor in a blank box and just say, okay, go be brilliant. But this new strategy, it's built on the exact opposite belief, that the real tough challenge is turning our messy, lived experience into a clear, shareable story.
So, if creation is the hard problem, how in the world do you solve it? Well, this strategy kicks off with step one, a dedicated creator tool. The whole idea is to just tackle that core challenge of storytelling head on before you even think about building a network.
This tool is called Storycrafter, and it's designed to be like a partner in that whole creation process. The key ideas here are voice first, which makes getting your thoughts down feel way more natural, and creating content they recognize as their own, which is all about authenticity. It's not about generating some generic AI text. It's about helping you find and structure your very own unique voice. And this is why that tool has to come first. If you build a platform before solving the creation problem, you end up with all these super familiar issues, right? Empty feeds, super shallow posts, everyone performing for the algorithm. It leads straight to creator burnout. This strategy is all about preventing these problems from ever even taking root. So how does it actually work? Well, it starts with voice recordings, because let's be honest, most of us think way better when we're talking than when we're staring at that dreaded blinking cursor. From there, it helps you discover topics you actually care about, fine-tune your authentic tone, and then it turns all that into structured content. And here's the crucial part. At the beginning, distribution isn't even part of the tool. The entire value is in the act of creation itself. Okay, so once you've solved that massive creation problem and people are regularly crafting meaningful stories, then, and only then, do you move to step two, building the platform where all those stories can actually connect. And this platform is called Campfire. The really critical point here is how it redefines the basic building block of social media. The atomic unit isn't some fleeting post or a quick update. It's a fully formed story. And your profile, it's not just a list of things you've done in reverse order. It's a narrative surface, a place to really show who you are. This comparison just makes the difference so clear. A traditional feed is built for endless scrolling. It answers the question, what just happened? But a Campfire profile is like a map of your stories, and it's designed for exploration. It answers a much, much deeper question. Who is this person? So we have the tool, Storycrafter, and we have the platform, Campfire. But the key thing to get is that these are not separate products. They're actually two layers of a single, really coherent system. It's really as simple as this. Storycrafter is the private, intimate creation layer. That's where you do the hard work of finding your voice and crafting your stories. Then Campfire is the public connection layer, where those fully formed stories go to find their audience and connect with other people. One just naturally feeds the other. Okay, so this brings us to the core strategy, and this is a really big question from a business perspective. In a world that's just flooded with free social apps, why on earth would you start by building a paid tool before you even have a platform? Well, the thinking here is broken down into two parts. Strategically, charging for the tool creates what they call a quality flywheel. Paid users are just more intentional, right? They create better content, which seeds a better community. And then there's the psychological part, which is just more human. It helps people in private, where it feels safe, letting them build confidence before ever sharing anything publicly. So when you put all of this together, what you're really looking at is more than just a business strategy. It's a fundamentally different philosophy for how we connect online. It's a philosophy that's all about authorship before audience. The first core principle is this one. You value the act of creation for its own sake, not just as fuel for some connection machine. Creation before connection. And the second principle follows right from that. You focus on helping an individual develop their own unique voice, their authorship, instead of just chasing the biggest possible audience. Authorship before audience. And finally, all this means that the stories themselves, the meaningful, crafted narratives, are the real foundation. The platform has to exist to serve the stories, not the other way around. Stories before platforms.
This guiding question really sums up the entire long-term vision. The goal isn't how do we get more posts or how do we increase engagement. It's always about helping people tell better stories and then, as a natural result of that, letting them meet others through those stories.
So we'll leave you with this question to chew on. We've spent a solid decade building platforms to help us share more and faster and louder. But what if the future of genuine connection online isn't about the quantity of our sharing at all, but about the quality of our creating? That's the whole idea behind the Creation First strategy. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.